All right, hey everybody, welcome back to another art talk and bite-sized series. I'm happy to kind of talk about my original character Syrene from the universe of Deathverse. She's part of the faction Syrene Phantom, and they're kind of this specter wraith sort of human, supernatural characters. So yeah, I'm really happy to be able to expand upon this universe and tell more story through, visually. But yeah, I will kind of talk through my inspiration and my thought process. It's based on some of the previous interpretation of the character. I haven't really, drilled down, nail down the direction. I'm still sort of in the exploration stage, trying to figure out what to keep and what to experiment with, and but I'm slowly narrowing it down. So I know that I want to keep the hair to be sort of a bluish tone and a cold pale, to kind of align with the thematic of the ghost apparition, the phantom faction, as well as the eyes being sort of the contrasting element. So that's going to be the popping, warm, like magenta red, like pink sort of tone. And based on the previous interpretation of Syrene with her friends in like a street sort of scene, it seems like that one got a lot of love from a lot of the viewers, the artists. So that's the element that I kept. Her hair sort of string and kind of connected to other ghostly characters. And in this illustration, I'm showing what they could transform into. So their idol form would be something sort of whimsical and kind of a cute character. Even though when you look at him for a while, it's a little bit unnerving because of the way it's very deep dark against pale the body, with the pink punch color in the middle. And obviously here you kind of see that sudden transformation to something a little bit horrifying, and very dangerous, aggressive. So yeah, I found this particular illustration to be enjoyable to work on, as well as pushing the proportion of the character. So yeah, the background is also stock photo that I kind of manipulated, as well as this branch that I got a vector from and just put it on there, just phased it out a little bit, as well as pushing the depth, adding some this mist in the foreground, and setting up the noise to give a little bit of that level of interest. But as far as her outfit goes, I had quite a bit of fun with it, trying to keep it modern and contemporary, but giving a little bit of the high fantasy, high fashion twist to it. And her arms are obviously this very form-fitting, sort of flowy, organic, obsidian metal. So it looks, pretty appealing, very form-fitting and functional, but also very feminine. That's kind of the goal with any of these high fantasized, design elements. They all go pretty well together, this shape language, curve and counter curves are repeated throughout, and they're consistently kept as very sharp, beautiful, elegant, similar and also similar material as well. All right. Yeah, this is yeah, I can't wait to like explore a little bit further. I'll just quickly go through the time lapse and do some commentary because you're gonna get the 4K time lapse video of this. Definitely check it out. Feel free to like replicate it one-to-one if you want to learn how I do it. Alright, so yeah, here I do a very rough sketch. And this is the pose that I decided that this would be a really cool, you know, passive pose that I want to kind of capture this character within this illustration. And once I'm pretty happy with the proportion, I'm pushing it pretty, you know, exaggerating a lot of the proportion here. Something I feel like I can, you know, try to express myself more. Like stylizing and pushing the, you know, the proportion a little bit more. I think personally that's something I want to not shy away from because this is artistic expression, and I you know, I always admire any artists that kind of push the boundary and do something a little bit extreme. All right, so yeah, line art, I always enjoy doing very clean line art. It's very relaxing, and this process is you know, much more predictable. Like you can just focus on one thing at a time, and it's less stressful. It's more like, yeah, you can relax and just have fun. Listen to music or podcasts or any background noise and just kind of autopilot and have fun just, yeah, creating this artwork. So after that, as usual, I create the mask. And for this, I decided to try to add the background element a little bit earlier. Usually I would add that after masking everything, and even during the time I'm adding, you know, the shadows and lights. I decided to add the background early to set up the scene earlier. So that would kind of be used as a guidance for me to figure out, oh, where should I add the shadows, or how should I establish it, the lighting, direction. Right, so after masking, very simple. Keeping the value of her outfit, have some elements of contrast. That's personally what I like to do a lot. So after that, you know, do some staining and the blushes, airbrushing, her makeups, keeping it very subtle and soft. And I go straight into, like, even before adding the multiply shadows, I just decide to do a little bit differently, take a different approach and experiment with the process, and went straight into like darkening, pushing back everything, and try to ground her within the background, make sense, make her look like she exists within that background. So using the background as an influence and just really, you know, setting it up. At this point I was a little bit, I wasn't very happy. Like she seemed way too dark, and I think I made, you know, when I did the post-processing here, I did a little bit of post-processing of the character and also the background. But the character, I think she looks way too soft. What I do is I soften the merged copy of the character, and I just go through different layer types, and that's how I do the post processing. But the opacity was a little bit too high. The character was way too blurred, and I think overall the character looked very soft everywhere. So I think that's the mistake I made. you know, overused. I did the post-processing, you know, way too much. So later on I had to fix that. The character was also very dark and very blurry, fuzzy and soft, and it just didn't look right. Also this thigh area, yeah, it just anatomically didn't look right, so that's something I caught later on and just fixed and just made the whole thing look a lot better. Even though it's not super realistically, you know, made, like the anatomy is not portrayed very realistically, it's more exaggerated for sure. So here I'm like designing that kind of crazy, yeah, this ghost like creature here. Alright, so this post-processing here, I decided to just, I think she was way too, blending too much with the background, way too grounded. Like I wanted to pop her off a little bit, like bring her forward into the foreground a lot closer to us, even though the background is like pretty blurred out already. But through the contrast, I wanted to make her look pretty bright, like bright enough to pop off and, you know, easier for us to focus on her. Yeah, overall I'm pretty happy with this character. I'm excited. I think this is one of my favorite characters that I have designed, and I can't wait to just make more interpretation of her with you guys' help. And thanks again for the $10 donation. The extra $3 on top of the $7 goes a long way, and this is my way of expressing appreciation for you guys' help. You guys will be the only ones receiving this commentary. Feel free to like let me know what you like about it, what I could do more of. Trying to keep it like very short, bite-sized for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much for the support, and I will be sharing with you guys more, you know, creation of the Deathverse characters like her. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.